Good morning, beautiful people. It's Tuesday and bringing you another scrapbook layout. This is my layout that has pictures from my Washington, D.C. or Sterling, Virginia trip. I went to stay with friends, and they live in Sterling, Virginia, but it's only about a 30-minute drive to Washington, D.C., so I wanted to document some of the things that I did while I was there. And one of the things that I did was go to this really, really pretty restaurant that had these gorgeous flower arrangements and also had the most wonderful brunch. It was just absolutely to die for. And then that was the last day I was there. I wish we would have done more of that because it was just fabulous, actually. Sorry, I'm checking my phone. I'm working while I'm doing this, so I'll focus on the layout now. Anyway, I did take pictures of some of the flower arrangements that were at the brunch, and it was all you could drink mimosas, and we sat out on the patio, and the flower arrangements were this bright, vibrant yellow and orange, and so I'm trying to kind of mimic that feeling in the watercolors that I'm using here and the sprays, and just wanted to use some of the roller stamps and make it look kind of light and airy. And the Lindsay stamp gang that I used is a Red Hot Poker Orange and a Cape Cod Coral, and I'm just kind of playing around with that and adding some of the Artist Loft watercolors in an orange, and my Glitz roller stamp to add the little triangles. And I'll trim that off, and I also used my punch from Hobby Lobby to do a bunch of triangles out of matching scraps of pattern paper, and I will also cut out a large triangle and put it up, and then I'll kind of line it with the smaller ones. You'll see what I mean in a minute. But that is just an old piece of cardstock, well, not cardstock, pattern paper, and it's by Pink Paisley, and it's the 365 Degrees collection called Daydream. And so I don't know if you are familiar with that line, and I don't know what year it was from. So yeah, it's just kind of the background. I've noticed that I've been using a lot of my older stash for backgrounds, which works out fine for me because that way I can still use it. And I'm kind of interviewing different backgrounds to see if I like something else better. I guess I go with that. That must be the Pink Paisley 365 because yeah, I didn't put it on that darker orange. So that is what that background is, and I think it's just lovely, actually. I hated to cover that up. And of course, when you do some watercoloring, your paper may warp and bend, so I just add a little extra score tape because score tape will hold down anything. And then I'll just put that down in a way that helps smooth it out, and I'll build from there. So today, just to give you an idea, this morning, kind of fill you in on what I've been up to. This morning I took my daughter to a charter high school to see if we would like it. I'm trying to get her, well, I mean, her public school is okay. We've had an influx in the last few years of diversities that has kind of filled up her school, and so I was trying to find a smaller like a teacher to child ratio. And so they built this new charter high school down the road. And she's in the 9th grade. This is London I'm talking about. And I thought, well, it would be a great opportunity for her to get leadership skills. And, it's based on all pre-AP, which she's already in, and how to prepare for college and things of that nature. So I thought it would be just perfect for her, right up her alley. And also with the smaller ratio of children to teachers, like the school she goes to now at Berkner has 3,000 kids. And the one that is at the charter school is 450 kids for the entire high school. So I thought that would be very beneficial. Plus, it's 9 hours of education as opposed to 8. And it does have 2 core language criteria, one being Chinese and one being Spanish, which she's already in her 2nd year of Spanish, so that would be fine. And like I said, the emphasis is on education. They do wear a uniform, but I applied online Friday, and then they called me back Friday, said they got the application, would contact me Monday. So today's Monday. So I go, I get up at the crack of dawn because I've got just a bunch of stuff keeping me up at night. And they start blowing up my phone at like 7:20. And I was like, okay, we'll come in, So they're like, we want to get your daughter enrolled immediately, blah, blah, blah. I was excited, and I said, well, I'd love to tour the school and check it out and find out a little bit more about what you have to offer, the classroom sizes, how you're structured, etc. Well, they wouldn't let me view the school. I wasn't allowed to tour it. They were very standoffish when I asked, and I found that to be extremely odd. I don't know how many of you out there send your child to a charter school, and I know that a lot of people are homeschooling these days, and my stepdaughter, my previous stepdaughter, was homeschooled, and I did not care for that structure at all, especially considering it was not following a accredited criteria, and her mother was basically a high school dropout, and she was the one teaching her, and they were highly religious, so everything was based around religion. And my stepdaughter was basically, I know this is a not everyone that goes to homeschool, but basically my stepdaughter was very antisocial, very withdrawn, had very little social skills. When we tried to get her to interact like with cheerleaders and go on trips with us, she just couldn't handle it. She would have a meltdown. It was more than she could even deal with. Children her age. She was used to this very, very small cult-like church that they went to of maybe 20 people, and absolutely no formal education of any kind. And so I just felt like it basically crippled her in life, and her and I went round and round over that. So so to say the least, she doesn't really care for me, and she's a very, very modest, humble girl. She's got a lot of great qualities. She turned out, fortunately, she's got a beautiful heart in a lot of ways, but she's very judgmental and very harsh and very structured, and it's all based on religion. She can't even talk about God without crying, so I just think that's just too much. You got to find a balance in life. I'm all for religion, but I'm kind of off subject. But so I took London to this charter high school, and it reminded me so much of the situation that I went through with Jessica. And I'm kind of curious if anyone else has experience in this arena, because I feel like the high school she's going to is the extreme in one direction, which is like, not keeping up with her intelligence wise. They kind of dumb down the classes, and I understand no kid left behind and all of that, and that's great. But my daughter is in all pre-AP, and even that, she says, well, it's kind of boring, and yet they won't let her go on to AP, and she can't test out, and it's just, I don't know. We can't seem to find the right balance. Private school is just too expensive for me, and now this charter school reminded me of Jessica, and how cult-like and high-structured and ridiculous. And I'm just sorry. I'm just not going to take my child into a facility or anywhere. I'm not going to leave my child in someone's care all day, whether it's for education or, even if it was for art. I'm just not going to do it if I can't go into the facility. They acted like I was trying to, break some sort of rule, and they were just so adamant about formal Mondays and these uniforms, and I totally understood, but they went over that like over and over, and it just seemed like some sort of strange prison system to me. I grew up in the country in Texas, and we were a small town, and everybody knew everybody, and you didn't have to have driver's license and blood work and DNA and fingerprint and all that to go talk to your kid's teacher or pull them out of school. It's just gotten absurd. So, I'm sure that I'm having an unusual experience in all this, but I think we're just going to stick with the dumbed down public high school that she goes to, and let her stay a cheerleader and excel really well because it's super easy for her. At least she's not overwhelmed. I wish there was more opportunity for her to be able to be stimulated the way she wants, but oh well. So leave a comment if you have an opinion on this. I swear I'm not trying to offend anyone. I know I'm outspoken and opinionated, and I've just been through the ringer on this sort of thing. So after 4 girls, and 2 marriages, it's been a trial. So anyway, that had nothing to do with the layout. But I still hope you enjoyed the layout, and I guess I'm done for now, and I will talk to you later. Ta-ta for now. Bye.